Hello everyone, here we've got part 4 of 5 of my collection of collection videos. This is the spring, my spring collection. It seems kind of paltry, I mean that's ridiculous to say that, but compared to the first few videos for the summer, fall, and winter. But the thing with spring is I burn a lot of the fresh collection that I do in spring, a lot of aromatherapy in spring. So they sort of, there's a lot of overlap more so than any of the other seasons or collections. So the next video will have a lot of candles that I also burn throughout, February, March, April, May. Some of these I still will be burning into the summer months, some of them I won't. And there were a few more that you don't see here that either I had some backups of that I burned through, or ones, that I had to return. I had Orchard Petal, Eucalyptus Mint, both I had to return because they had such horrible burn, they just weren't working for me. But let's get right into what we're starting with here. So we've got Wild Strawberry, which I've only burned once. When I first got it, I smelled it and I liked it, and I was happy that it was like a different colored wax, and it seemed to be a different strawberry than typical strawberry patch from years past. But once I burned it, it really smelled kind of cheap and not great. So unfortunately, that wasn't a good one. Lemon Mint Leaf, which I had one that I burned, and it was a terrible burn. So this is a return that I got, and I haven't lit it yet because I don't know how it'll work. Garden Mint, which was a test scent from the Fresh Market collection. Fresh Market collection really seemed to dominate the spring, really the late winter into spring into summer. But there was some really good stuff in there. Some hits, some misses, but some interesting test scents too. So Garden Mint, really nice test scent, didn't make it wide. Not a whole lot going on with it. A little bit of herbal, a little bit of mint, but nice. Same thing with Honeydew Thyme. I actually have two of those. It has melon, it has thyme. I really like it. I can see why it didn't go wide. It not the most popular thing in the world, but again, I've said it before, I'll say it over and over again, that anything with herbal notes or something that's not your typical sweetness or candy-like, I'm into. So that also goes into the tomato garden, which is really cool. I think it's great to have essentially, I was going to say, well, a vegetable candle, but really, we know tomatoes are fruit, but still something that's not really sweet, more of a savory kind of feel to it. Really nice candle. It doesn't have a great burn. I was able to correct the bottom one. Hopefully the second one will be a little bit better, but a lot of the Fresh Market collection and the spring candles are plagued by the low burn or extinguishing wicks problem that Slatkin has had for off and on for a year or two now, and it really seemed to come to a head with some of these collections. So hopefully it'll correct over the summer. But same goes for Blackberry Grapefruit, which was nice, kind of weird, but still a scent that I liked. Market Peach, a really nice peach. A little bit creamy, but a fresh peach, not a lot else going on in it, and I liked it because it wasn't too candy sweet. Sage Cucumber, which the name didn't really live up to what I hoped it would be like. It was a little bit too sweet or bright, almost kind of perfumey for me, when I thought sage, to me, it has no scent of sage to it whatsoever. There are probably 3 other Slatkin candles that actually do smell like sage to me a little bit, but this one is not one of them. It doesn't have the watery cleanness of cucumber or the super herbal of sage. It's a little more sweet and floral. That said, I still like it, but it shouldn't have been called Sage Cucumber. Then we've got Papaya Spice, test scent that didn't go wide. To me, I feel like we'll probably see this again. It's a really nice scent, and other people have done videos talking about the notes in it. But if you look at the notes even, it just seems like a fall candle. Perfect blend of papaya, Fuji apple, honeysuckle, spice with cardamom, and nutmeg. So to me it smells actually, to me it smells actually similar to the Woodland Berry from last fall without the berries in it. It's got that same sort of base notes of just a little bit woodsy and spicy. I really like it. I haven't burned it yet, but I really like that one. I'll probably burn that in the fall, as weird as that's going to be. Honeysuckle, which was actually a test scent last year. It was released in this form, which I'll get into in a minute. The test stores had all of the florals from last year, lilac blossom, hydrangea, magnolia, honeysuckle, maybe 1 or 2 more, all came out with this colored glass clear label with, I guess like an impression sort of in silver with the name. It was just a test line last year. It didn't do much. Honeysuckle was part of that, and it went wide this year. which I was really happy about because I actually liked the packaging better last year, but still the same amazing scent for Honeysuckle. I burned through the one that I had from last year, the test scent, and this is now a backup. For me, Honeysuckle could be spring, summer, but I have so much for the summer that I may just save this for next spring. I can only have so much out at a time, so this might not be burned again until the spring. Flower Shop, which started as a test scent way back in probably April of last year. The very first test scent order I did had Flower Shop and Lime Ice, Verbena Waters, Toasted Almond in it. Just an amazing floral. I think everyone loves it. Florals with greens, really smells like it's one of the perfect names. Flower Shop is exactly what it smells like. Again, I burned through the one from last year, and then I have this as my backup, probably to burn next year, because it's not really a summer scent for me. Drenched Apple Flower was new this year. I really loved it. I love apple scents, so it's kind of fun when they can pull in apple, which is typically more of a fall scent, into spring and summer scents. I think it's kind of nice when they do that, when it works. And for this one, for me, it really worked. This was part of that, the Fresh Blossom, I forget what they called it, the Blossom, Just Picked Blossom line, along with Eucalyptus Mint and Orchard Petal, which I liked Orchard Petal, but it just burned so poorly I couldn't do it. But Drenched Apple Flower was really great. It was great in wallflower form too, so I have that in a backup. Also from that same collection, First Bloom, which I really liked, sort of a sweet floral, and really worked for, I was burning this probably late February, early March, like the name says, First Bloom, and it really worked. Along with Spring. Spring I didn't like quite as much. It reminded me a lot, the next one reminded me of another candle, but Spring it was nice. It was a basic floral with a little bit of freshness to it. Green Grass, same thing, really nice. A little floral, not a grass scent. I wouldn't call it grass. I'm not huge into Yankees. I've got a couple, but I know that they do grass much more. That actually smells grassy, because grass is not sweet. Grass is very earthy and kind of fresh and yeah, like fresh, earthy, and really intense. And this is not any of that. But it's nice, kind of sweet. And it actually reminds me, to jump ahead, of Green Daisy from 2009, I believe it was, or maybe 2010. I think it was 2010. They released Green Daisy. It was actually an odd, I'm jumping ahead, but it was an odd release of like 4 scents in late summer. I think it was maybe August. It was Green Daisy, Lotus Flower, Peach Bellini, that we all know, as well as, what was it? Lotus Flower, Green Daisy, Peach Bellini, Eucalyptus Mint first came out then. And they've all sort of come and gone. Green Daisy and Lotus Flower never came back. Peach Bellini, of course, came back and was huge. I had Peach Bellini, but it also burned so poorly that I took it back, and I just wasn't going to bother again. So that's why this collection is sort of smaller than the others. But Green Grass, really nice. Magnolia was a test scent last year. It didn't go wide. I wish it had. It's really, really nice. I'm not huge into florals, but it's just it's really sweet, but really watery. It says here, fresh magnolia petals and orange blossom with cooling greens and muguet. And it's a sister to Flower Shop, and I just really, really like it. I'm burning through it slowly because I don't think it'll come back. Also last year they released, sort of randomly, Hydrangea, which didn't come back this year, which bummed me out, because this is all I've got of it. And to me, it's like, smells like Easter. It's really a true floral, kind of like the Lilac Blossom and Flower Shop, without being, too fakely perfumey sweet. That's what these ones are for me. They're like a true floral, which I can appreciate. Hyacinth or Hydrangea. And this one is Hydrangea Peony, Summer Apricot, which I don't get, and this year Musk. So a little bit of, a little bit smelling like, Grandma's house, Easter Sunday, perfumey, but I really like it. It was a super springy scent. It burned great, but it didn't come back this year. Lotus Flower, again, was from 2 years ago. Also kind of a little bit heavy, a little perfumey, but really nice too. The notes actually aren't listed here. It's before they list them on the candle. It's kind of a love-hate. I didn't like it at first, and then it went on sale, and I bought it, and I really like it now, and I wish it would come back in something else. But it's just it's something different than all of the other more basic kind of, blackberry, peach, lemon mint leaf, strawberry. Those are a little bit more basic, whereas these are a little bit more thought goes into them, and they're a little bit more, in my opinion, a little more high-end. Green Daisy, which is just a really nice, what I was saying was Green Daisy and Green Grass. Some people have said they're the same scent. I'd say they're very, very similar, but I think they tweaked it just a tiny bit with Green Grass. Green Daisy, kind of weird label, weird name, weird release in August when it should have been in March originally, but really nice. It's a fresh, clean, everything you know of green grass is. That's what it's so similar to, and I like it a lot. I'm glad it came out sort of redone in the green grass. And then I threw in fresh picked cherries here. I think fresh picked cherries came out maybe right along the mini fresh picked line they did last year, which was the summer berries, fresh picked cherries, and then the boardwalk with the lemon gelato and all that came out right around the same time. It's nice. For me, it's hard to do cherries correctly because they always smell like Airheads candy, like a really sweet or fake cherry. It's nice because it's so bright and juicy, but I'd rather see maybe like a dark cherry or black cherry or something, a mulled cherry with bourbon or something to make it a little more complex and maybe a little herbal in there too, like a rosemary cherry, something kind of interesting. And then of course they're super popular from last spring, Pink Sangria, which to me is almost more of a summer scent, but they always called it spring, so I'll throw it in my spring line. I haven't burned this one that much. I think just once or twice because I have so many other similar candles to it. But last year, burned through it quickly. This is, sometimes you'll hear Karen sent my way and me refer to as something having Pink Sangria burn. And what we mean by that is that Pink Sangria, I've gone through maybe 2 of them. She had 1 or 2 of them. It, without a doubt, always has an intense, crazy burn, almost too much. There's a line between having too low and too high of a burn where it pulls incredibly deeply and the flames get huge and it even smokes a little bit. So this, I actually wouldn't say is the burn that I prefer to have, but you see like the wicks get huge, long, and like it burns, even after say maybe an hour, it burns down a good almost halfway on the candle. So it's really intense, which is, I'd say better than having something that doesn't burn and extinguishes itself. But so that's the famous Pink Sangria. And then just a couple single wicks here, not a lot going on. I picked up these flowering dogwoods just at my store for this most recent SAS. Really strange. I don't know where it came from because it was never in the test stores that I know of this spring at all. So I was kind of surprised that it sort of appeared out of nowhere. But if we just quickly, if I can even find where this is. This was, and it even says like early, the perfect sign that spring is here, pink dogwood in full bloom with sweet jasmine, white tea, and neroli. I like this. I like dogwood. Jasmine's in a lot of their stuff. White tea and neroli, those are always interesting things to throw into a candle. I like it a lot. I haven't burned it. It probably won't be a good throw because they're so little, but I wanted to grab them because I like the scent. And then the last couple here are all ones that I just got, I think at random SASs. There's Gingham Apple, which to me, this really is almost a repackage of Autumn Apple, which I love, but it seems like to me it was just a way for them to repackage Autumn Apple with the Fresh Market line the same way they did Frosted Cupcake, just to have it out year-round and falling in a collection that they've got, which to me is not really necessary. But it says Golden Delicious, Juicy Pear, Peaches, and Sugar Cane. Super nice. I'll probably save it for the fall, and whatever the name is, it is. Hydrangea, which I'm happy that I have that since I loved it in the 3-wick. And these two I got really cheap at the summer SAS last year. A weird packaging they were trying, I guess, in the late spring last year with colored metallic lids. They're still metallic, but they're a lot lighter weight than the standard ones. And then it has a complete, like a shrink wrap around it. And this one is in Summer Berries, which I didn't like Summer Berries. It was very similar to the Fresh Picked Cherries, a kind of cheap scented to me, but it was so cheap that I couldn't pass it up with that. And then Flower Shop, good to have for layering or whatever. Just a single wick of Flower Shop, which you can never go wrong with that one. And that about does it for my spring collection. So next up will be the final collection video. It's going to be a huge one. I'd realized after I was doing these along the way that I have a lot of things from Aromatherapy lines and from Fresh lines. So we've got a lot to go through here in the next video. So again, any questions, comments, please leave them below. I appreciate it, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.